them, the journey will be tough and hard, but just try and comply. Those of them who try to rebel or retaliate were being given serious torture. They were being beaten, given serious punishment, and most of the times, they even select the stubborn ones among them, shoot them to death just to frighten the rest of them.
Hi everyone, today after a very long journey, I'm just at the border of Ghana and then Burkina Faso, and I'm at the Pikworo Slave Camp, and it's called Pikworo Heritage Slave Camp, where a lot of the slaves, like majority of the slaves during the transatlantic slave trade, they passed through this camp. So I'm going to take you in here, and we are going to talk to Kandoy, one of the best tour guys on site, and he's going to share the history and the events that happened here with us. So guys, let's go and talk to Kandoy, one of the experienced tour guys here. Let's go. It's a long journey. Okay. Kandoy, Charlie, yes, how are you? Thank you.
My name is Kandoy Eric.
Okay.
Staff of Pikworo Slave Camp. Actually, I'm a site guide. We take visitors around the whole camp, brief them history behind the camp, and let them see the various spots that were being used by the captives throughout their stay in here. Okay. Yeah, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So before we even start, do you have any idea of when this camp was established?
Yes. This camp was established in the year 17th century, that's 1704. Okay. And it was abolished in the year 1764. Okay. Yeah,
so it operated for like 60
years. Okay. Yeah, approximately.
Okay. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's where do we start from? We
move towards this direction. Okay. That is it. Okay.
Hey, it looks like it's about to rain.
It's about to drizzle.
So the Lord show us mercy. Yeah. It's showers of blessing. Let's finish our recording.
Let's finish before.
Yes. Let's finish our tour first.
Okay.
Wow. The place looks very big.
Yeah, it's very big.
Looks very, very big. Why do you have the white stones?
Yeah, this is to create pavements or a walkway for our visitors. Okay. Actually, this was being done by ourselves. Okay. You know, we have to find a way of beautifying the place and also make it look
quite attractive.
Yeah, quite attractive. Okay. Sure. Okay. So here was where the captives were held for a couple of days before they took them to Saliga Slave Market. Okay. And from there to Asimanso, Asimfosu. And from there to the coastal areas. Okay. Yeah, so as I said earlier on, slavery started in the year 1704 by 3 slave raiders or slave masters. These guys are by name Samory Toure. Samory Toure from Burkina Faso. Okay. We have Baba Toure Zato from Mali. Okay. And one native called Bagao. Bagao is a native. Bagao is a native. Actually, this guy wasn't a born native, but rather a settler. Okay. Someone who came and settled among the community members. Okay. And according to history, we were told in that era, population was much needed in every community. Okay. Because the communities were more or less like 2 or 3 houses. So they need much people to build up a strong community. So anyone who comes in and appeal for a land to settle, they were openly welcoming that fellow to be part of them. Okay. Yeah. So population was much needed in every community. Okay. So as at that time, this young man approached the natives of this Nanya community, telling them he needed a piece of land to also settle in and be part of them. And most of the community members also thought maybe he might have been encountering some kind of conflict from wherever he's coming from, and that is why they need to rescue him or allow him settle in with them. Okay. Yeah. So he settled in with them, brought up new ideas which improve in their daily activities, be it agriculture and architecture. So the community members realized he meant no harm. Okay. He was just a good person. Yeah. So, you know, meanwhile, this guy has a different perspective, but rather using this way of capturing their mentality just to let them believe in whatever he is saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So he came and deceived them in such a manner. So when he settled in, they realized their agriculture, their way of farming and rearing animals has changed, because he brought up new ideas which improve or help them elevated from wherever they were.
Okay.
Even their architecture design, he brought up new ideas. So the community members then trust him. Yeah, they trust him and believe that he could really help. And that was the main reason why he was able to deceive them or stay in there for a long time. So when this young guy also realized he was being trusted by the community members, he then approached the natives or the elder people among them, telling them he wants to help his colleague youth. He came as an ordinary layman. They never know anything about him, yet they were able to help him.
Okay.
So why won't he also bring back whatever he got to society? He will take the youth of the community to the coastal areas where jobs are available. They will be trained, and by the time they return, they will be greater people in future. They will then come together and help develop the communities. And as at that time, he carried along items like gunpowder, which were not common here, mirrors, which were not common, these alcoholic beverages being brought by the Europeans and Portuguese. And with the help of these things, the community members were somehow convinced that he could really help, because that is the first time of them seeing themselves in a mirror.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were willing to give out their sons and daughters, and which he also took them to the coastal areas and sold them to the Europeans and the Portuguese who were in Gold Coast purposely for slaves. So initially, that was how he was deceiving the natives.
Okay, so he would just tell you that, guy, you know what? I have opportunities in the south. Let's go. And a group of young men and women will follow him without chains and shackles.
Yes.
They'll just be walking, following him,
knowing that
he's going to give them greener pasture.
Yes.
And then when he gets there,
he rather sell them.
He rather sell them for gunpowder,
mirrors.
And then when he come back, he come and still give parents
them those
and
things.
they think their children are in training
to become better.
And what's his name again?
Bagao, which means bushman.
Bagao.
Yeah. Bagao was his name, and that name was being given to him by the natives of this land.
Okay.
Yeah. When he came and settled, he refused to reveal his real identity to them. So they then came together and gave him the name called Bagao, which means bushman. Someone who doesn't know his origin. Someone who doesn't know where he's coming from. And that was how he got the name Bagao.
That's how he got the name Bagao. Yeah. Okay. So then what was the next event that happened?
So when the community members realized that they were being deceived, because they were waiting for a very long time to see positive impact in whatever this guy was doing. But I think they've waited for a very long time without seeing anything like that. So they became angry. They got to realize that they were being deceived. This man came and using his intelligence or mentality to deceive them and take their youth. And it was at that point that they became angry with him. They were furious and even threatened to kill him. So he realized how the community members were furious on him. He could no longer stay with them. So he then left the settlement, he left the residence of the community members and came to this Pikworo territory. And as at then, this was part of the community.
Where was he living then?
He was living with the community members in their houses. Yes, Nanya. Yes.
Okay.
This is part of Nanya.
Okay.
But this was more or less like the bushy part of Nanya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this Abedi Pele's hometown?
Yes, this is where Abedi
Nanya
Pele comes
FC.
from. Yes, please.
So when somebody say Nanyama, what does it mean?
Nanya means place of cattle.
Nanya.
Yeah, place of cattle. I mean place of cows.
What of Nanyama?
Nanyama.
Or Nanyama is not
No, Nanyama is not.
Okay.
So he left the settlement and came to this ideal place where he then hid here and realized he could not maintain or longer manage the business by himself. So he needed to involve other expertise to come in and assist him. And he thought of these two notorious guys, Samory Toure and Toure, which are very famous when it comes to slavery in the Upper Voltarian territory.
Okay.
So he then involved them, he invited them to come. So they came in here and they became a group of 3. That is joint partnership. They became 3 people to operate the camp. So when these 2 guys came, they realized there are some basic features on this rock that could enable them to sustain the lives of the captives throughout their stay in here. And that was why they just decided to use this particular camp place as their camp. And that is the reason behind this place being used as a camp.
Okay.
And when these 3 guys came, they then introduced what we call raid. Raid. Okay. That is force capturing.
Force capturing.
Yeah, they captured these young men and women by force within and even beyond these communities, even out to the hinterlands. As at that time, the sub-Sahara countries were classified as Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. They captured people up to that places, and all these captives were then brought down to this camp for a couple of days before they took them to the coastal area.
So did these people have like a group of people that were working with them, or it was just the 3 of them?
Yeah, initially it was just the 3 of them, but as the business keep on growing, they have to employ people to assist them.
Okay.
So they have guys who also assist them in maintaining or running the affairs of the camp, and even moving along with them to capture these captives and bringing them to the camp. They chose the trusted people that they trust, people who will not go behind back doors and release the captives.
Okay.
And they chose those kind of people to assist them.
So those people were all indigents?
They were all indigents.
But they've come to see money?
Yes. Not necessarily money, but they've come to see some kind of items that they were not having access to.
Okay.
As at that time, it's very difficult for you to have
get a mirror
to watch yourself. So then having access to the mirror, it's a big thing to them.
It's a big thing to them.
Maybe a glass of whiskey.
Whiskey. 1 tot.
1 tot of whiskey. It's okay for them.
It's okay.
You can imagine. Salt. Even salt.
To sprinkle on the meat.
Food to make it look tasty. It was something difficult. So people were willing to come and assist them just to get these things.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so that is how they were capturing the young men and women.
Okay.
And when they brought them down here, upon arrival to this particular camp, they were being branded.
Branded?
Yes, they gave them branding using very hot iron rods.
Red hot iron?
Yes. Put them on the skin to enable differentiate them when they got to the coast.
Okay.
And most of these shapes were being developed by the companies that they are sending them to. These logos were given them by the Europeans and Portuguese.
Okay.
So whenever they brought them here, they hit these iron rods and put them, brand them, just to enable differentiate them. And also, upon arrival here, they were put in shackles and chained against the trees. The trees available. So most of their infrastructure or their shelter was the trees available. As at that time, there was a few rooms for the masters. By then, they could not build rooms to contain the whole captives. So most of the shelter for the captives were the trees. Yeah, they were shackled and chained against the trees.
Now I want to ask. This is the dry season, right?
Yes, please.
And I think rainy season is just about to start.
Approaching.
And there is no shade under the tree. So during the dry season, it means that they were just under the direct hot sun.
Yeah, vegetation has been changed, or let me say, due to the use of chemicals and other things. I think we are losing our vegetation. And as at that time, this place was more or less like the Amazon forest. So it was very thick, covered with trees, very green. Even the rainy season as at then was much longer than this time around.
The dry season.
The dry season.
So it was always green?
Yes, evergreen.
Evergreen,
Evergreen.
And so when they are here,
it's more or less like them. They are in rooms. And even it was difficult for someone to stand from afar and see them direct. That is how it was covered. Yeah. So
so when they get here, what happens again?
Yeah, after they got here and they were being branded, also shackled.
Where were they branded?
Yeah, actually, There is no specific place that they were branded.
Okay.
But according to the history, we know upon arrival here they gave them brandings.
Okay.
It could be that maybe the infrastructure or the buildings for the masters, that is where they got the branding.
Okay.
And most of these things have been demolished.
Okay.
I mean, the rooms for the captives and all those, the masters.
Okay.
Yeah. So after branding and being chained to the trees, they take them through the camp.
Okay.
They tell them, oh, this is a transit point. You are going to rest here for a couple of days before we take you to the coastal areas where we are giving you the jobs. So whatever happens here, you shouldn't worry. We will make sure that you get to the destination. The journey will be tough and hard, but just try and comply. Those of them who try to rebel or retaliate were being given serious torture. They were being beaten, given serious punishment, and most of the times, they even select the stubborn ones among them, shoot them to death just to frighten the rest of them. Yeah, this is a way of letting them know that if you try escaping or try retaliating or just fighting against your slave master, you just saw what happened. And they were very afraid. They were very, let me say, they were having that kind of fear because these people have never seen gun before. And right in front of you, someone or your colleague has been gunned down.
And someone
is down. So it's something new, and it put fears in them that no. So because of that, after that, they could just place a wooden fake gun in front of them, telling them if you try running away or doing anything nasty, this thing will kill you. And if they ask them to stand still till the next day, they will stand still
because of the fake gun. Wow.
You see. So this was also how they were able to maintain some of them throughout.
Deception.
Yeah. And right from here, we have their source of water on top of the rock. That is a reservoir where they got water to drink and to prepare food throughout their stay in here. And most of this water was also used for washing and
so can we go to that?
Yeah, we will go there.
Okay.
So we also have a flat rock where their bowls were carved on top of it. The bowls were carved on the rock just to enable feeding.
I can't wait to see them.
We will go there.
Okay.
Don't worry. We also have a grinding stone where they grind beef, cereals, or grains to prepare whatever food they want to. These three guys have discovered two supernatural rocks where if you hit or strike any part of the rock, different rhythms are being heard, just like our local drums.
Okay.
So every evening, they take them over there to entertain themselves using these rocks. And the purpose of the entertainment was to keep them calm and fit. We all know what music does. Sometimes it helps us regain joy, relieve us from the emotional trauma we are going through. And that was why they need to entertain them, just to keep their mentality fit, or their physically and mentally fit. Okay. Yeah. We have a meeting place where they meet every morning to ensure that they were intact. And that same place also serves as a marketing grounds where they were auctioned for sale whenever buyers do come there for buying. We have the highest amount all point in the camp, that is the White Tower or security checkpoint. Those of them who died during their stay in here,
they were also buried.
Yes, there is a place allocated for burial. And punishment rock as well. So these are the kind of places or things you are likely to see in this particular camp. So if you don't mind, we proceed for you to see all those things.
Okay. Wow. I can't imagine this place with like a full green.
It wasn't easy at all by then. It is what it is. What has happened has happened.
That's happened. Okay. But the rocks look nice.
Yeah, especially during rainy
season.
season.
If not for the history, this is a very is a nice, soothing place to be. But what has happened here has taken the joy of this place away. I wonder why this beautiful place could just be turned into something very, very
not developed.
No, like how, you know, the place looks nice, but then the history of this place, they cannot make you have a certain joy here, but then you're always thinking about what has happened here.
As for that. It's a fact. Okay, so this signpost is indicating where the captives used to get water to drink and where they eat.
Eating and drinking.
Yeah, eating and drinking place.
Okay.
So it's just over there, and this is a signpost directing to.
It's over where?
It's over here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go.
Whoa. This is a reservoir?
Yes, please.
For storing water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they got water here to prepare food and to drink and to sustain or maintain themselves throughout their stay in here. And this reservoir we are seeing right here.
Is it very deep?
Yes, right from the surface to the latter part is about 6 to 7 feet deep.
6 to 7 feet
Yes,
deep?
right from the surface.
Wow.
Right from
I wish I could.
this surface. Yeah.
I could try something.
And it is believed water reserve in here never dries up.
Okay.
As you can see, it is dry season, but there's
still water
for them.
Yes.
And they got.
But I want to check something. Can I have your tripod?
Okay. You want to check the.
Yes. So this is like 4 feet.
Let's assume.
So let me see. This is like 6 feet.
6 feet.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm 6 feet. So this is 6 feet. So we just want to see how deep
it is.
the reservoir is. Yeah,
Is that the
it is
latter
true
part?
because I could feel like
Yes,
there's some
and the younger ones
debris.
Yes, debris down
There
there.
are debris down there.
People
so,
throw in the stones.
yes,
The younger ones.
If I keep pushing, you see, it keeps going down. Yeah, it keeps going down. It means it is very deep.
Yeah.
It is very deep. So let's say that even with the debris, it got to.
Let's say.
Let's say this.
Sorry.
Yeah. With the debris, this is the depth of it.
Almost 6
I'm
feet.
sure it's more than 6 feet.
Almost, yeah.
I think so. Because I couldn't get to the bottom of it. It should be more than 6 feet.
And in the olden days, we were also told the water keep oozing out of the rock, more or less like a spring.
Okay.
And this was because the traditional beliefs and sacrifices that were being offered to the gods and the shrines around keep the water oozing out of the rock.
Who offered the sacrifices?
Yeah, the people, the natives, and these 3 guys too were also spiritually fit.
Okay.
So they find every possible means to make water ooze out of the rock, more or less like a spring.
Wow.
And it's because our culture, we have been replacing our culture with the Western life and Western culture. Mm-hmm. This is why we don't experience
those kind of supernatural things.
Supernatural things.
Okay.
But I think we have that kind of capability. We have those kind of spiritualism that we can make these things happen.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So this is Africa for us.
So this is where they were drinking water from and eating from.
Yes.
Where are their plates?
Okay, they are just right over here.
Okay.
Okay, so these are their plates. These holes we are seeing right here happens to be their plates. And this is where food was served for them to eat. Mm-hmm. It is believed that these bowls were being carved by themselves.
Okay.
The slave raiders or masters made them to carve these bowls just to enable feed themselves. Mm. And the carving of the bowls were used as punishment to the rebellious captives. Okay. Most of those who tried to fight against themselves or fight against the slave masters were brought over here to carve a bowl.
Let me see the size of it.
Yeah.
It's quite big.
It's quite big. Yeah. And we have other few ones who are much bigger than this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And there are some here.
Yeah, some over there.
Oh.
Yeah. Over here too, they were also grouped to eat, depending on the number of captives being brought at a time. Maybe 100, they could group them 3 per bowl, 4 per bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, some do come here, and at the end, they do struggle, but they won't get food to eat. So it was more or less like a jungle life.
Jungle life.
Yeah, survivors of the fittest.
Now, I can't imagine scratching your fingers against a stone to eat.
It's not an easy task. Okay, so let's move to the grinding stone. Okay, so this is a grinding stone. This is where they grind beef cereals or grains to prepare whatever food they want to. And in our African traditional homes, some of these things still do exist.
Yes.
Whereby they pour beet, millet, maize, pepper, ginger, tomato, any kind of ingredient they want to grind. This was their blender. Okay. This is where they pour it, then use a sizable stone like this, and this is how they do it. I believe this is not new to me.
So it's not new, it's not new. This one is not new. And it grinds the tin very fine.
Even the taste of that something grind from this sauce is different from a blender.
Yeah. This is more authentic.
Okay. We are going up here for the entertainment.
So we are going to where they have the entertainment. Oh. Okay. This is the arena.
Yeah, this is the entertainment arena.
Entertainment hall.
Yeah.
Is this also another reservoir?
Yeah, this is a reservoir, but this one, water is usually carried from the main source and poured here to help them quench their taste whenever they are doing entertainment.
Okay.
Okay.
And the rain is pouring down. It won't stop.
Okay, so this is their entertainment instruments. These are their drums. This is where they meet every evening after eating to entertain themselves using these 2 particular rugs.
Yeah.
Down there was the dance floor, that flat land where
that's the dance floor.
Yes, that is where they were exhibiting their dancing skills.
Okay.
And they select among them those who could sing and drum very well based on their tribes. You know, they were collected from different geographical. Yeah.
Okay.
They select among them those who could sing and drum to come top here and produce music just to entertain the rest of the captives.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the process of entertainment, the masters were around to motivate them and also keep guard. They gave them donations like cola nut to chew, tobacco to smoke, and these alcoholic beverages to
drink.
We know the impact when you smoke and taking alcohol as well. Yeah. So this is how they used to do their music. I think my brothers are here to help us understand better. We will do same music as they used to do.
Okay.
By then, as custom and tradition demands, in the process of drumming, any visitor who comes here is supposed to make a customary donation. Yeah, just to keep the culture and the tradition ongoing. Okay. So I will join them.
Just before you start, you know, it's raining and we are here. I think someone will be saying, why won't you stop and come? Actually, the slaves, they're always in the rain.
Yeah.
they never had the opportunity to even have a shelter. So it's very sad. Their journey was a sad one. But now it's time for entertainment.
Okay.
So
Sayere chrawul langani tangwana model mi adil Okay, so
what's the meaning of the song?
Yeah, these songs are inspirational songs. They were motivational songs, songs of praises. We sang about 3 or 4 songs, which are basically motivation and way of just keeping them calm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So after the entertainment, what next?
Okay, so after the entertainment, by the time they are done with the entertainment, the place is usually dark. So they take them back to wherever they need to sleep. That be the trees, I mean their shelter, or they could just camp them over here and guard them and make sure they sleep over here till the next morning. They take them to whatever activity they need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you made mention of watchman post.
Yeah, watchtower and meeting place and other places. So right from here we move to the meeting place.
The meeting place.
And from there to the watchtower. From there to the cemetery for burial and punishment rock as well.
Punishment rock as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we can proceed to the other sections.
Let's go. Singing while I go singing.
Cool.
So I also learned that the Arabs also came here.
Yeah.
What was the story with the Arabs?
You know, these Arabs were people. They were from the Arabs country or the continent, where they also moved down here to the coastal areas, as my brother said earlier on. Their main focus was also to buy slaves or captives in a cheaper price and resell them to these people.
Okay, the Arabs?
Yes. They buy the captives or slaves in a cheap price and resell them back to the Europeans and Portuguese. Okay. You know, throughout their journey.
So before you even proceed further, the Arabs, were they Muslims?
Yeah, they were Muslims.
So did they come here like, you know, because until today, the story we all know is that the Christians came to the south to establish churches and buy slaves. Yeah. We've not heard of the other side where we are saying like the Muslims also came to establish the Islamic religion. Yeah. And they also bought slaves.
Yeah, you know, these Arabs came purposely as businessmen. They never introduced their religion to cover up or to be used as something that they are coming to spread their religion, but now doing other things behind scenes.
Okay, but it's the same with the Portuguese. They also came as businessmen. And they never cover up as businessmen. And they also had their religion that they were doing, and they also established their religion, and they also did their business. Yeah. So it looks like it's a blueprint that never changed.
Yes, that never changed. We could take it that way. And basically, these people, because the reason why the Arabs were able to operate was that as a time, they had doctors and they had medicines that could treat or cure diseases or people who were weak. So usually right from here, captives or slaves being transported down to the Saliga slave market, that was an open market. The Arabs over there buy this, those who fall sick or those who were weak at a very cheaper rate. And treat them, treat them, make sure they are healthy, and then resell them to other people.
So they use the Accra route?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
That is how
they use their medical
knowledge too.
Wow.
You see. Wow. And most of these histories were being documented in Arabic. Okay. Yeah, so I think I read a little source from how history was generated, and most of the histories were written in Arabic, especially concerning the slavery. Okay. Yeah. You know, as they were there, they have their official language they speak, and that they have a way of documenting all those things. So most of these histories were being, driven from their source.
Wow. So is that why there is, like the northern region is predominantly Islamic, and the southern side of Ghana is predominantly Christian.
I believe so. I believe so. That could be a factor. Actually, I have little knowledge about that, but I
think so because since the Arabs settled at
yes,
Salaga,
and all those.
then they will eventually like evangelize the place.
Yeah,
then I see. Guy, this drizzling.
It's because of your video. Otherwise, it's a nice.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling it.
Yeah. Okay, so we are different spots, and this place happens to be their meeting grounds. As we can all see, the rock is in the form of a stage or a platform where the captives were down here every morning, whilst the raiders or masters were on top of this platform, just to count. They summon them and count just to ensure that they were intact. So none of them has escaped.
Like they are the raiders will be here.
Yes.
And
while the captives are down here, like as we are standing,
so they'll be counted.
Make sure none of them has escaped throughout the night.
Okay.
Because there wasn't electricity, it's hard for them to monitor them throughout the night. And them being at a still point or at a place where they could stand or stay there for a long time, the next morning they need to take them to this place where they ensure that they are all fit, they are active, and they are intact. Before they take them to their various places, most of the time they select among them and discharge them for their duties. The ladies among them, they select at least 3 or 4 of them to go and prepare food to feed the rest of them. So,
question I want to ask is that was there ever anything recorded about some of the people who escaped?
Yeah.
And what happened? Were they caught? Did someone ever escape from this Pikworo camp? And if it was so, was the person caught? If the person was not caught, what is the story? What is the history?
Yeah, I think those who try escaping were caught and were being given serious torture. They were being punished severely. And as if you can recall, right from the starting, I said they select among them and shoot one of them to death just to scare the rest of them. So it takes the brave ones to even have the perception or mindset of escaping or running away. And those of them who try such ideas were being brought to the punishment rock where they were being given severe torture or punishment. And over there, most of them even died right after punishment because it was very tedious. Before they are done punishing you, you are almost gone. And we also recorded cases that the indigents or the community members also try intruding or coming in to fight against these people. But because they were not having machine guns, their weapons were inferior as compared to the weapons these people are possessing. Whenever they try attacking the camp, most of them end up being captives in the camp.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they are coming to
free their people.
Free their people.
By then, when they got here, these people were able to fight and defeat them, capture those they think they like, and keep them here as slaves.
Wow.
As well. Wow. So it's hard for a captive to escape from this place. It was very, very difficult. Yeah. So the meeting place too was also served as a marketing grounds. Where they were being auctioned for sale whenever buyers from different places do invade here for buying. They auctioned the captives on top of the platform, whilst the buyers were on top of these rocks we are seeing over there. That very high advantageous point. They stood over there and then observe or select those they think they like among them on top of the platform, and they will then bargain. You can imagine if you are standing on top of this very top, you can have a clear view.
Clear view.
Yeah. So they stand over there and sell it.
Over here?
Yes. And then
sell where exactly?
That very high rocks over there.
Oh, here.
At the very top.
The very top?
Yes.
Should I keep going?
You can keep going to the very last stop.
Should I keep going?
Keep going.
Should I keep going?
Keep going.
Should I keep going?
Let's try.
Is it this place?
Yeah, I think that place was also part, but the very last spot.
This side?
Yeah.
Let me see.
When you are over there, you can have a clear view of someone standing down here. Just be careful.
Okay. Here?
Yes, please.
So this is the place, right?
Yeah.
So if you are standing here, you have a clearer view of the camp.
When we get to the White Tower, you realize that place is a bit higher than this place.
When we get to the White Tower?
Yeah, the White Tower, the
watchtower
checkpoint, yes.
It's higher than this place?
It's higher than this place.
Wow.
And when you are there, you have almost all view of the camp.
I see.
Yeah.
Whew. This is... How do I even get down?
Same way you went up.
The same way I went up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I see. If you're up there, the view
is clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's proceed to the other sections.
From here is the
Watchtower.
The watchtower.
Yeah, then from there we descend to the cemetery for burial and the punishment rock as the last point.
Okay.
Sometimes I find it difficult to understand why our own brothers would trade us for money or different things. You see, the slavery is more or less like something that happened through ourselves. We sold ourselves to the white man.
So I want to ask a sensitive question.
Okay.
Would you say that between the white man who bought the black slaves,
Yeah,
and those who sold the slaves,
yeah,
who did the Western?
those who sold the slaves did the Western.
I see.
Because without them, these white people would have not gotten the slave to take them to wherever they send them to.
Okay.
So it will be impossible for someone to invade or to come through you without yourself being open.
Okay.
So I blame ourselves, our chiefs, and our traditional leaders for doing that.
For doing that.
And currently it's still happening. Look at our leadership. Look
So
at our presidents,
getting to the watchtower.
Yes, please. Okay. So this is the watchtower I made mention of. And over here you can realize this is the very highest point among all points or places in the camp. So this was where one of the raider or masters is supposed to be while surveying or watching all over the place, the camp, just to make sure that none of the captives try escaping or none of their opponents are approaching to launch an attack. And whenever one is over there, you have almost all view of the camp, and he could see from afar. And he also possesses a cow horn as sort of trumpet or alarm. Whenever he sees someone approaching, he blows the trumpet just to signal that that fellow is being spotted and they are ready to chase after him or attack. So whenever a captive is escaping and he sees him from this direction, he just blows that one and signal those down, telling them the direction at which the fellow is running away.
Okay, so they have different sounds showing where the person
is.
Okay.
And they will chase after him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the tower.
This is the tower.
I'll try to.
You want to try?
Yes, I just want to see if...
I think when you pass through the back, it will be very easy for you to
When I pass through the back,
yeah.
Okay. I wish I could try and get up. Oh.
The rain has stopped.
There is no stairs.
Use the tree.
Wow. Whoa.
Okay. So use
Hope
the
the rock
branches.
it will not move.
No. Don't be afraid. Just hold the branches and move forward a bit.
Gosh. Hey. God, it's not easy standing here. It's a bit scary.
It's a bit scary, but
it's also interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's scary because the platform is not smooth.
Yeah.
And
it's somehow tilted.
It's tilted to the back. Wow. Did anything just happen, or this is how it was?
Yeah, that is how it was.
I see. I'm sure this one is not the slaves that carried it here.
No, it's impossible.
It's a natural formation.
Yeah. This way is...
I see. So from here, where do we go?
We descend down to the burial grounds.
This is the burial ground?
Yeah, the cemetery.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So let's go down to where they buried those who passed away throughout their staying here.
It looks easy, but it's not that easy, man. You have to be strategic. This is full of rocks. If you land on one, you can break a bone.
This was a burial ground. This is a cemetery. This is where they buried those who passed on throughout their staying here. And as we can see, all these are graves to those who passed on. And over here, most of the causes of their death was punishment. They were severely punished to the point that they died or lose their lives, and they were being dragged down here. Others also lost their lives through beating of snakes. Snakes were very common. You can imagine how bushy the place could be as then. And when they were being beaten by these venomous snakes and they lacked treatment, you know what happened next?
They will die.
They will die.
The venoms will kill them.
The venoms will kill them.
Wow.
And these are some of the causes of the death.
Snake bite.
Yeah, and punishment. Torture. Yeah. So their graves were being done in our local way. The graves are dug round like a well.
Okay.
But when they go down, it's very hollow, more or less like the mining caves.
Okay.
It's in this way.
Okay.
So when they go down, it's like a room where they can put or pile them in there. So it depends on the number of captives that will die per day. Even if you are 10, they convey you into the same grave and continue with whatever they were doing. Yeah.
So this is how you bury people here?
This is our traditional way of burial.
Currently?
Currently.
So if someone died
died,
they dig the grave round, and then inside they extend it?
Yeah, they extend it.
And then, so currently do you pile up people, or is just one person per grave?
According to our tradition, one person is supposed to be buried in a grave.
In a grave.
But there is a need to put another person in if only that fellow is a young person. Let's assume that someone below 20s died. You know, it's somehow shocking. The people around keep crying. It's somehow shocking. The person is not all that grown. So they need to bury him instantly, just to let people forget of all those things. So when it happens that way, they will look for an old grave, open it, and after this, they don't usually use sand or soil to cover. They just use a clay-made pot to cover the grave. So they just open that, pack the skeleton of the old person aside, and put.
Okay. So it means that it takes time to dig one grave?
Yeah, it takes time. You can imagine how you need strategic, or let me say, talent before you could do this.
I see.
Yeah. So they need to pack the skeleton aside just to put him there, to bury him easily and fast.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So over here too, they also do that.
The same thing?
Yeah. Most of the graves, after the body has been decayed or decomposed, they reopen same graves and bury another person
there.
Yeah.
Okay. So the graves were running
shift. And all these are graves stretching down to that part. Okay. And according to the history, the smaller stones we are seeing around indicates the number of people buried in the grave. That was as at then.
Okay.
But, you know, our place has not been fenced the indigents and the younger ones around and the animals that keep moving around might have removed or add some of the stones.
Okay.
And that is the reason why we don't go by that. But that was the purpose of the smaller stones.
So if not that, then it means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
25 people have been buried
buried in the grave.
You will not rest in peace in this one.
Charlie, how would you rest in peace in this?
I see.
Okay.
And this is the punishment rock.
So this is the last aspect of our tour.
Okay.
And this is the punishment rock. This is where they punish the rebellious captives. Those who try to prove stubborn were being brought over here to receive some severe punishment. So this is how they were punished. They were asked to sit on the rock with your legs crossed and chained against the rock.
Okay.
And your hands at your back also chained. And you then be forced to raise your head facing the sunlight from sunrise to sunset. Watching the sun rays from sunrise to sunset, and accomplished with caning in the presence of the others just to scare them not to do same. And once you're under punishment, you are not entitled to food nor water. So you can imagine how tedious it was. You stay in here watching the sun from sunrise to sunset, receiving some kind of lashes, no water for you, no food for you throughout the day.
Mention the name of the 3 people again.
Samory Toure,
Samory Toure,
Baba Toure Zato,
and
Bagao.
Abagao, the bushman.
The bushman, yeah.
Guys, so like this is what has happened here, you see, and as the narration, he's telling us the stories about the place, and the feel is different. Like me being here, going through this, experiencing it the first hand, looking at the view, the chills, and the emotions and the feel is very different. And I don't know what to say, but then I think that if you really, maybe you've been to Cape Coast Castle, another castle, to experience the door of no return, but you never experienced how they were captured. You never did. You never did. Because if you did, you will. I don't know how to explain how I feel now. I don't know how to explain it, and I think that we should all try to come here to Pikworo Slave Camp, because the people were captured here and were moved to Salaga Slave Market. And then from there, the weaker ones were treated by the Arabs. And then later sent to Accra, and the strong ones continued to Asim-Manso, and then to either Cape Coast or Elmina Castle. So I think that it's about time you experience the capturing in the first hand. And then when you understand the journey, it's almost about 1,000 kilometers from Accra to this place. So when you're able to experience the journey that people were on their feet, like about 50 to 60 days from this camp to Salaga. You understand? And from Salaga to Cape Coast was about 4 months journey. You know, like spending 6 months of your life walking, and not walking as a free man, but walking in shackles and chains, and being maltreated and eating once a day, sipping water whilst others drink water. You have, and not just that, you're also carrying loads. Listen, you need to be here to experience it. And anyone who wants to experience this place, you can book your tour with Black Ivory Tours. The link is in the description.